Hey everyone, I'm Eve McIntyre. I'm the founder of Project Emerald Collective. And today I have the pleasure of being joined by Karen Capece, who is the founder and owner of Organised with KLC. And I'm so excited to jump into the content that we have planned for you today. And I'll hand over to you, Karen, to introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Eve. Yes, I'm Karen. I am the owner of Organised with KLC. It's a professional organising business. I myself am certified in the KonMari method of home organisation. It's a more intentional and guided method for organising your home. And beyond being a small business owner, I'm also the mother of 3 young boys. And we're also a very neurodiverse family, so there's a lot of extra spiciness happening in our household.
Yeah, I guess that is conducive to wanting a more, or any kids really, conducive to having a wanting and, wanting to be more intentional about how your home is structured and the energy within the house.
Most definitely, yes. Systems help and make the whole thing so much easier to work through.
Oh, absolutely. So for anyone joining us for the first time, Karen, can you just briefly explain why decluttering is about so much more than simply just getting rid of stuff?
Yeah, certainly. So I guess it comes down to the why to start off with when it comes to decluttering. Why are you decluttering your home? Is it, some people just want to get rid of stuff. They want to have less around them. But the why behind that is, you want to get rid of things. Why? Because you want to lighten your load. You want to do less. Perhaps you want to declutter things because you're feeling overwhelmed. There's so many different reasons and so many personal reasons behind the why of decluttering. So I guess it depends upon the person as to exactly what their why is. And the way I work through with people is to really get to the base of their why to help them move forward and to be more intentional with their home and allowing them to have a home that supports them to live their life now and into the future as well.
Yeah, that's so cool. So after working with so many women, what do you think they're actually seeking when they ask for help with their homes or their wardrobes?
Yeah, certainly. When somebody comes to me with, whatever place they want to have help to declutter and organize, at the face value, they often think that they just want their home to feel less overwhelming. Maybe they're finding it really hard to get ready in the morning. That the wardrobe full of clothes but nothing to wear. I think we've all been there. So on the surface, that's sort of what people often come to me with. And then as we start diving a bit deeper, there's so many questions that come and so much insight into who they are, who they're becoming by decluttering their wardrobe. Yes, it's making their life easier because there's less there, but it's about looking at you as a person, your values, and you look at your fashion sense. There's so much that comes out of a decluttering session, and it's really inspiring to see how things evolve with my clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can certainly reflect on, how the decluttering session has helped me in my wardrobe. I just feel much lighter when I go in there. I love seeing it color-coded. I love seeing only pieces in there that I'm actually going to wear that are like actual options. It just brings me a sense of calm in the morning, and then I can actually intentionally choose how I want to show up that day. And then I base my choice. Like there is a practicality sense also, like in terms of what's going on with the weather or, who I need to be that day in terms of the different roles that I'm taking on throughout the day. But just for a normal day, like I find it much easier to be intentional with my energy and how I want to show up in the world when my closet is organized, and presented in a way that brings me calm and joy at the same time. So yeah. So thank you. So touching on clutter, overwhelm, and the mental load that we carry, what does clutter actually do to our brains, and why does it feel so overwhelming?
Yes, certainly. Even if we're not, we're not consciously thinking of all the clutter around ourselves, our brains are still cataloging every single item. So we become very fatigued. It's been shown that a cluttered environment causes an increase in the cortisol, stress hormone. And I think we're all very aware of how damaging stress and cortisol is on our body. It affects our brains, it affects our bodies, our nervous system, our immune system, our sleep, if we're having trouble sleeping, our fertility. It affects the entire body. When a cluttered space, has all these effects on our body, then that becomes very overwhelming. Seeing perhaps the enormity of the job and what we're facing. So, a lot of women do find it very overwhelming and very stressful.
Yeah. Well, it's good to feel like I'm not alone anyway in that.
Certainly, yes.
And what does, with your experience, do you see a connection between clutter and the mental load that women carry every day?
Yes, certainly. As a society, women are seen to be more of the homemakers, the carers in the home. And while things are shifting, there's still very much that societal idea that it's the woman's role and that it's what we should be doing. And we even put that stress on ourselves as well. So if we're unable to keep up with our homes becoming cluttered and messy, then there's a lot of guilt and self-shame and I should be able to keep up with this kind of mentality. And it feels very much like a moral failing on ourselves, but it's not. Our stress is our homes are separate to us, and it's not us as women. It's not our role to take on the entire home. There's other people that live in our homes. We may be married with children, and us mums can definitely attest that we're probably not the messy ones. It's all these children and our husband that leave things everywhere. We need to, as women, I think, step away from this thought process that we should be able to keep up with the home and, that there's something wrong with us if we can't. This is a job for everybody in the home to deal with. And if it's hard to deal with, there's a lot of stuff and it's very overwhelming, then seeking help is 100% okay. That's why I'm here. That's why I have a job and a business. There are systems that we put into place. There are ways to go about decluttering home to make it far less overwhelming and much more manageable. Tidying is something that can be taught. It's not something that is born in most people. It's a learnt skill.
Yeah, right. That's really interesting. So I'm not surprised that many women tell themselves they're lazy, disorganized, or failing somehow. And why is mess not a moral failing?
Yeah. Well, a mess is not who we are. It is not a state within ourselves. It's a state in the home. It is not a reflection on who you are as a person. So we really need to be kinder to ourselves. I see so many women with very negative self-talk that they're no good, that they're failing in some way, and that really it isn't the case. If you're seeking help, if you're aware of the problem, it's not you. It's not who you are. You are not a messy person. Your home might be in a messy state, but that is a state, and it can often be a state in time as well. Maybe you're a working mum with, young children that, you've got a lot of work to do. You have not a lot of time to keep up with the place. Maybe you've got some sort of mental or physical issues happening at the moment that reduces your capacity to keep up in the home as well. So, we need to be kinder to ourselves. And a messy home it's not who you are. It's not something to do with you and your morals. It is a state in the house.
Yeah, and it's affected by the other people that inhabit the house as well.
Absolutely.
So if we touch on where to start, so where can women start, and why do they feel so frozen? Why can they often feel so frozen even before they begin decluttering?
Absolutely. Well, we look around our homes and we often see, it's a big job. There's a lot to do. Where do you start? How do you go about it? How do I make all those decisions on what to get rid of? It can be very overwhelming and cause a lot of people to stop and just, no, I'm not going to do it. And maybe you've started in the past, maybe, with your pantry, maybe you've gotten all excited, pulled everything out of the pantry, and then the dopamine's run out. You've got a big old mess around you. You're fatigued. You're tired. You're overwhelmed, and there's stuff everywhere. So, a lot of people are like, I've tried, I failed. I'm not going to do that again. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. So we need to start smaller, honestly. And with the KonMari approach, it's a very set method and it's very gentle. So we start with the clothes, then we move to the books and papers, the miscellaneous, and then we leave anything sentimental to the end because they're the really difficult things to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at the wardrobe. Again, don't pull your entire wardrobe out. It's too much to deal with for any one person. So maybe start with just one drawer or just your jumpers. Start small so that you don't get so overwhelmed and you can have a small win, celebrate that win. And then when you're feeling up to it, move on to another small category or another area within your cupboard and systematically move through so you don't get so overwhelmed by the process.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I certainly have been there in the pantry situation where I thought it was a great idea at the time. And then, didn't end well. And I did feel like a failure before I finished. So it's good to hear that that's normal. What are the biggest mistakes people make when they try and declutter?
First one, pulling out too much. I think we've covered that one and we've certainly all been there. Second one that I see quite often is people getting very excited that they're going to organize their homes. They go out and buy all these very pretty organizational products, all these tubs and things. But unless you've actually been through and decluttered your home, all those organizational products become clutter in and of themselves. Often when I'm working with people, we do a declutter and we find all these containers that they already have. So you don't need to go and buy all these extra things before you look at your space. And maybe your space doesn't need them. Maybe it just needs one or two little things to help in the space. But honestly, you don't need all the extra decluttering things. It's, a waste of time, waste of space, waste of money most of the time. Yeah,
and that's what we're trying to avoid. What's one small action someone could take today that would help create momentum?
Yes, I would say maybe have a look at your maybe your underwear drawer. That's usually, everything's usually relatively well contained within a drawer, maybe your socks and your undies, whatever it might be. But if you can go through and do that one space, there's probably not much that's sentimental in it. You should be able to knock it over relatively quickly, get rid of anything that's, too stretched and holey and, things that don't fit anymore, and just have those items that are really going to fit and work well. It's a small space. So you should be able to, move through, get that one done and celebrate that little win.
Yeah, there's something empowering about doing that and just, throwing things away that don't fit or never have fitted properly, or that have become a bit shabby. I think it signals to the universe as well that you're ready for upgrades. So I like to look at it that way too.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's all for today. So join us next time, and we'll be back with Karen to chat about overconsumption and dopamine shopping in the next couple of episodes. So join us then. And yeah, thank you, Karen, for your time today.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.